This is why no government bureaucracy can create anything good. Why no big Hollywood studio and its cookie cutter meddling can create anything good. No, it's the madmen, the rebels, those 1 in a million people that can see something that no one else sees, that will risk what no one else will risk, and have the dedication to make something that truly captivates. Well, despite his quirks and many flaws, Tom Cruise is a madman and once again delivers on the Mission Impossible franchise, giving us one of the best action movies in decades. I'm Ben Davies, this is Pure Hollywood. And it must be said that Mission Impossible Fallout and the other Mission Impossible movies could only be made if Tom Cruise didn't own the rights to the story and be one of the producers to make the decisions for the film. And this allows him to make the movies he wants to make and get the movie insurance necessary for the project that no other producer would have signed off on. Because no studio would let a now 56-year-old actor do what he did in this movie. Anyway, let's get into Mission Impossible Fallout. As a viewer, I give this movie a 5 out of 5. This really is the unkillable franchise, and all credit to Tom Cruise for not letting Paramount just cash in on the popularity and cut corners. Now, from start to finish, this movie is action-packed, funny, exciting. It has tension, and most importantly, has a heartbeat that lets you feel and be connected to these characters so you care about them in these extraordinary circumstances. There is something that every viewer watching this movie will enjoy. So let's start with one of my favorites. And before we get to the incredible stunts and heartbeat of this movie, let's get into the action, my bread and butter. There is simply one of the best fight scenes ever put to film in this movie. The action scene with Henry Cavill, Tom Cruise, and Lian Yang, which takes place in that white bathroom, is absolutely heart-pounding. It's Mission Impossible at its best. It's textbook in its specificity and care for the characters going on. It's not just two meatheads punching each other. Everything is planned out and written out. It tells its own story. There's an inciting incident. There is a loss of hope. There is a gradual build. And each character shows their unique personalities in their fighting skills. You see them move and waver in their own fight. It's absolutely amazing to watch. Now, as a critic, I'm going to give this movie a 5 out of 5. Boom. Now, story in any action movie is what turns an action movie from good to great. And specifically in the story, the motivation in Fallout is so well done. Every character's motivation is not just to be good, or to be bad, to be bad. No. Let's take the two main players, for instance, the two sides of the same coin. Ethan Hunt and Solomon Lane. Both men want world peace. They just have two completely different courses of action to get to the same goal, and both make some sense. And that's why it's so fun to watch. Now the stunts, and this is actually important. I don't even know where to begin here. First off, Tom Cruise is a warrior of stylistic purity in these films. Would you be willing to train days, weeks, months for this one shot that takes 2 seconds on screen? Like, for example, in the last Mission Impossible movie, Tom Cruise training with military divers for weeks and months so he could literally hold his breath for 6 minutes straight to get the underwater shots. That is crazy. Or him spending a year to do the helicopter scenes where he actually learned how to fly the helicopter, to do all the stunts, going through the maneuvers, planning the drop scene. All of that took a year of preparation to finally shoot. And they actually dropped him from that helicopter onto that piece of cargo and bounced off, which was a 40-foot drop, while hanging from a helicopter. It was just crazy to watch. And the Halo jump scene in the movie was absolutely unbelievable. They did over 100 different skydives to get the shots they needed. They trained in the world's largest wind tunnel to be able to do this choreography in the air. Finally, after these actors worked for months and months and months, Tom actually jumped out of the plane. They could only shoot for 3 minutes at a time each day at night to get the right lighting to pull off this shot. So when you see it, it's actually happening. But my favorite thing in this movie was a small one. This just shows the kind of dedication that you have to be willing to give to get movies and shots like these. And that is the scene in the movie where Tom Cruise runs in the buildings and jumps across these two buildings in London, smashing against the wall and climbing up. Well, he breaks his ankle in this scene. They did the whole scene in one shot, running, jumping, falling, climbing. Breaks his ankle on the wall. You can see it snap in the video, and he actually climbs up and finishes the shot so he can run past camera and then goes immediately to the hospital. That's dedication, and that is a movie star. As crazy as I know he is and all the things that he does that I disagree with, hats off to you, man. Hats off to you. And in a world of studios cutting corners and using CGI because it's cheaper or easier or whatever, there is something about you being in the audience, watching real people in the real places doing these real things that absolutely captivate you. Now, for my faith and values, I'll give it a 4 out of 5. Yes, the stunts and action are great, but what makes this movie not just fun, but excellent, are the values shown on screen, specifically Ethan Hunt. He is a hero because he will sacrifice himself for anyone who is innocent. He would do the same thing to save one innocent human being that he would do for 1 million. It's sacrificial, it's patriotic, it's heroic. Anyway, I know I've been heaping praise in this movie, but I really hope you go see us in theater. I hope more people are allowed in to have creative reins and freedom over these films and projects. We don't get the same cookie cutter movies from studios. They're like, okay, we want to do this because this worked and we want you to do this or whatever. No, I want the madmen, the crazy creative types to make unbelievable films again and to get them in the theaters. I'm Ben Davies. This is Pure Hollywood. Alright, so if you enjoyed that video, please consider becoming a premium member to the Rebel. That way you have first access to Pure Hollywood and the entire Rebel lineup.